passes and gets deep in corners. Bravojet, only from iRobot.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
I wish I could shake your hand.
Granted. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Back here with Cris, we're talking Patrick Mahomes, we're talking Tom Brady, we're talking Sunday in Foxborough when we get to see the 24-year-old versus the 42-year-old. Both quarterbacks have not played up to their MVP standards this season. However, there is no doubting their accomplishments. Danny, who do you trust more?
Danny's going to go first on
Mahomes or Brady?
I'm excited to hear this.
You know, this whole segment, I took over. I should get co-producers credit on this segment alone.
Yeah.
Because I said, can we please do who do you trust more at quarterback? After the last time I was on here, we did Carson Wentz or Tom Brady. How did that work out?
Okay,
who won the game was the answer. It's the GOAT. Like, you have to give Tom Brady credit for what he's done throughout his career. I know statistically you can come up with a lot of evidence that says he is not performing the way he did throughout the majority of his career. But I will remind you, he still is one of the guys that just figures out a win. He doesn't care about throwing for 300-yard games. He doesn't care, hey, how many touchdowns do I have? He cares about winning, which is the ultimate stat. I have a question for you.
Yeah, please.
Do you know Tom Brady's record playing at Gillette against the entire AFC with Julian Edelman?
42-0.
42-0. Yeah. Who are you going to trust more in this spot? The quarterback who comes in, and he's a hot, young, shiny new toy. Yeah. Patrick Mahomes is awesome. Or the guy who has yet to lose a game with the entire AFC when he's had Julian Edelman at his side. For 10 years. That's been a decade running.
It's been a decade run. You're absolutely right. And I'm so excited that my guy's going to be able to be the one to end that. And just like I was very excited, full disclosure, last year, that I thought it was going to be my guy, Patrick Mahomes, again, full disclosure, the stadium that I grew up going to was going to be the team that ended the Patriots run. Instead, Chiefs lost, and they lost in overtime in a game that Patrick Mahomes threw three touchdowns, took the lead in the fourth quarter two separate times.
They were great
and
stats.
Tom Brady, a guy who just knows how to win, not only threw an interception in that game in the end zone, but threw another interception and then threw another interception to lose.
Was there a penalty on that one?
To lose the game, but D Ford's little fingertips were lined up right over the line, and so a new narrative was written. But this is an obvious, easy answer. Who do you trust more right now? Would you rather have Giannis or Wilt? Well, Wilt, God bless him, has passed away. Giannis still playing. Like, the idea of because you're the GOAT, every week you get to be it, it's not how it works. You have to perform up to that level. Right now, Tom Brady is the second highest rated passer in the AFC East because Josh Allen has overtaken him. This is an unfair fight. You have a 24-year-old future Hall of Famer ascending towards his prime. You have a 42-year-old GOAT who is now not only on the back end, but playing the worst football he's ever played, rookie season included. So to me, Canty, the answer is obvious, and 32 GMs out of 32 GMs would say Patrick Mahomes, any situation, any scenario, over Tom Brady in 2019.
Well, here's the thing. Tom Brady isn't playing good football, but I think that has more to do with the lack of weaponry on that team than it does the decline in his performance. But I do believe that there's a first time for everything. So that 42-0 at Gillette Stadium against the AFC, that could change this weekend, just because if you're asking me who I trust the most on Sunday in terms of a production standpoint, it has to be Pat Mahomes, because Pat Mahomes has the fastest wide receiver in the National Football League. He's got the best receiving tight end in the National Football League, and he's got one of the most innovative offensive minds the game has ever seen in Andy Reid as his head coach. So I think that Pat Mahomes will be in a position to have success. Now it's just a matter of Pat Mahomes being patient and taking what that Patriots defense gives him. Now, that Patriots defense got lit up by Deshaun Watson and that Texans passing offense. I think it was 4 touchdowns this past Sunday night. So we haven't seen that from that secondary this entire year. But we do know that traditionally Bill Belichick coached defenses, they struggle against mobile quarterbacks. And oh, by the way, who are their 2 losses to this season? Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson. So I think Pat Mahomes has an opportunity to have success on the road in Gillette, but it's just a matter of him being patient and not trying to force the ball down the field. Being willing to take the check down, being willing to continue to put drives together, keep the chains moving. I think he can get himself in trouble if he tries to push the ball downfield and it's not there against this secondary.
Since we have our little circle of trust here, I'm going to open up with you. The last time, when we had that debate last time with Brady or Wentz, and Brady got the best of him, I was going to take to Twitter, but I was like, you know what? It wasn't an emphatic win statistically. You couldn't.
And Brady wasn't any good in that game.
I am not holding back. If he wins this game, I don't care if he throws 3 interceptions. If he wins, that should be the ultimate stat there. I think the thing that we're missing out on is who Tom. Yes, Patrick Mahomes is going to get challenged from the Patriots. We're sure Bill Belichick is going to have a game plan for him. The Chiefs' defense is still a liability, especially against the run. And I think that's where Brady, for the first time all season, may not have to throw it so many times. He's already on pace to have his career high in pass attempts, which, you know, look at Peyton Manning. When he won the Super Bowl and rode off in the sunset, had his worst season statistically. And they were limiting way worse than this. But they were trying to limit his exposure. The Patriots are doing the opposite. They're putting more pressure on Tom Brady with a lack of weapons, which is why I think you're seeing those numbers decline. But eventually, I do think they figure it out. And I think the Chiefs' defense is exactly what's going to come at the right time.
Well, then the Texans should have, because the Texans with 31st third down defense, 32nd red zone defense, bottom 5 pass defense, and Tom Brady found himself with 9 whole points with 4 minutes left in that football game. Now, at the end of the game, had a little Dak Prescott-style garbage stats to make it look better. But Tom Brady, since week 6 against the Giants, has 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and has not had a single game with a pass rating north of 100. And I know how we do the math on this. When the Patriots play well, it's the defense, and Brady was amazing. And when they play poorly, it's, man, Belichick didn't have that defense ready to play, and Brady's weapons. How can you blame him? The idea that Tom Brady is just working at such a deficit this year compared to other quarterbacks, I reject. Does he have the weapons Patrick Mahomes has? No, not when they're both fully healthy, but Tyreek Hill missed a month and a half, and then Patrick Mahomes missed time. The Chiefs were without their left tackle. The Patriots were without their center after losing him early in the year. Both teams missed a guard throughout the season. We do this extra math for Brady because he has earned our respect. Now, he hasn't earned the team's respect enough for them to give him the contract extension he wanted this offseason, but he's earned our respect because he's the greatest, not just quarterback. With respect to Jerry Rice and Jim Brown, he's the greatest football player ever. But it comes to an end for everyone at some point. And if I'm right, and if Candy's right, and the Chiefs, you have the Chiefs this weekend, correct? Or no?
I've got the patch.
Okay. All right, I just don't want to steal it from you.
I've got the patch.
Okay, so if I'm right, and the Chiefs win this weekend, the Patriots are going to have to stare at this reality. There are 3 teams other than the Patriots in the AFC that really matter. Baltimore, whooped them. Houston, whooped them. And the Chiefs, if I'm right, you go 0-3 against the teams you're going to have to beat to get to the Super Bowl. The reality that I believe is very clear is going to become clear to everyone else, which is the Patriots this season are not equipped to make their record-tying 4th straight Super Bowl, even if the record says they are.
But you can't sit here and say, well, the weapons that Patrick Mahomes and Brady are working with are remotely similar.
No, but the weapons that Russell Wilson and Brady are working with are damn near
that's
identical.
Different. You didn't say that.
No, are damn near identical.
All right.
And Russell Wilson might be an MVP.
But that's a significant difference.
No, but both teams have dealt with injuries on the offensive line. Both teams have dealt with guys being in and out of the lineup. We don't, with Mahomes, the